Hello, welcome to a new video. We're gonna be playing Fallout New Vegas again. I've been thinking about where I want to go and what I want to do, and I thought that it might be interesting to try to go like up around this way, because I think there's an area up here with some weapons that can be used. There's also a bunch of ghouls in the canyon wreckage, but we're not going to get ourselves involved with that location quite yet. I remember going up here when I first played the game and got my ass handed to me by these ghouls. Oh, not a bad find. And less good of a find. Sometimes they have caps on them. I like to imagine that they used to be citizens of the wasteland who became ghoulified and then succumbed to madness. Oh. Texture didn't completely load in. These ghouls are just insistent on ignoring me. Here we are. That's the location I was thinking of, so I'm gonna take, actually, don't I have a radiation suit? One rad a second, but I should also take some rad away. Interesting little place back here. In Fallout 4, there'd no doubt be those children of the atom people over here. Those guys were always kind of annoying in Fallout 4 because they tend to be hostile on sight.
You're mine.
Let's see here. More radiated items. A chemistry set we can't use. Certainly gotten used to that by now. DC Journal of Internal Medicine, that's good. I think that's a book. Yep. Increase our medicine by 3. Camera in there, don't need that. Star cap. Alright, so a few goodies in here. Irradiated food. I mean, isn't gecko meat already irradiated? It already gives you radiation poisoning. Reaver guys are pretty strong. Nice. Not strong enough. And I get 6 caps for my troubles. Alright. I think I'll pick up a new companion. Boone's nice and all,
Hey,
but...
I want to thank you for bringing me to Bitter Springs. Things seem clearer now. If that's what you think. Alright. Guess I'll be around Novak for a while longer until I figure out what I want to do with myself. See you around.
Boone's nice and all, but I think it's time we part ways.
No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from?
I'll just say Good Springs.
Wow, you have come a long way then. I've never been there, but I've met some traders who pass that way. Well, welcome then. I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground.
You live in a hole in the ground?
Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family. Whatever they need.
So you just leave your family in the bunker?
Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level?
Alright.
I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them?
They're usually harmless unless you use advanced technology around them.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem for me. I can't afford anything like that. Hey, so where are you headed anyway?
I just kind of drift from place to place.
Just wherever the wind takes you, huh? I like that. Keeps things interesting. I'll be honest. You're the first person I've run across out here that looks like he can really handle himself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together. Help each other out.
Where are you hoping to go?
Oh, nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world. Looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from.
Don't you have a family to feed?
Like I said, they can handle themselves. And I'm not the only one getting supplies for them. It's a big family.
You don't look like much. What do you bring to the table?
Good. That's the look I was going for. Trust me on this one, though. You'll be glad you brought me along. If I turn out to be a burden, we can part ways at any time. No hard feelings.
Alright, let's go.
Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I ask you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along?
Well, actually, I'm more comfortable now that I know you've had some training.
I'm great at punching people. I'm not gonna lie. It's a gift. Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand. Let's hit the road, huh? A bunch of shut-ins who scorn outsiders and hold technology over them. Gee, where have I heard that one before?
She like referring to the boomers? Now, even though she wants to go out and explore the world and see all the sights there is to see, I'm more interested in taking her back to the Brotherhood of Steel bunker. So I just need to figure out where it is. I think it's that way by the correctional facility. Yeah, it should be beyond this fence here. Trespassers will be shot. Is my Pip-Boy light still on? Danger, no entry. Now, one of these rocks is one of those hollowed out ones that has supplies in them. And the way you can tell which bunker has a Brotherhood of Steel in it is by the graffiti on it. Alright, Veronica, show us what you can do. Well, you can do an excellent job getting stuck on a rock and letting Eddie handle everything. Oh, here's a hollowed out rock. Just a little bit of supplies for the road. And there's a Brotherhood bunker.
Hi there. My name is April Mortimer. I monitored a communication earlier between you and someone with the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm with the followers of the Apocalypse. We're much more liberal about the sharing of technology than those Brotherhood people. Bring your robot to us. We'll see that whatever information it may have on it is used for the greater good.
I actually will be bringing Eddie to the followers of the Apocalypse because they give him an upgrade that makes him do more damage, while the Brotherhood gives him an upgrade that boosts his defense.
Hold on, I've got this. I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger. And easy on the agave sauce this time.
We gave you a password, Veronica. It's for your safety.
I know where you live, Ramos. Open up.
For Pete's sake. Opening up. Welcome back, Veronica.
You can't help but notice that the Brotherhood barely exists to these people out here. We're like an urban myth, no real presence on the outside. We just don't adapt like we should. Used to be that all you needed to get your way was a suit of power armor and a laser rifle. Now, people are armed and organized. They're not afraid. But we still stick to our old approach because it's all we know.
The Brotherhood is living in the past. Eventually, they'll have to change.
I think you're right. We're getting desperate. Hardly enough people to sustain ourselves as a chapter. We'll see the light, sooner or later. But I get the feeling if I don't take matters into my own hands, the change won't come in time to make a difference.
Alright, tell me about yourself.
I like long walks in the desert and candlelit metal workshops.
What are your goals?
I want a dress.
A dress?
Yeah, a good one. Something elegant and classy, you know? But still stylish. Something that's eye-catching and sexy, but also says, don't fuck with me. I keep hoping I'll come across some old-world designer gown when I'm scavenging, but it never happens. Maybe I should move back to California.
That's your goal? You want a nice dress?
Hey, you try getting a date wearing scribe robes. Might as well be wearing sweatpants. I just like them, you know? They make you feel like a woman. Those ladies before the war, they knew what they were doing.
Tell me something else about you.
Can I make it up?
Who was his father Elijah to you?
I would say he was my tutor, but that doesn't cover it. After my parents passed, he looked after me. The whole Brotherhood brought me up, really, but he made sure of it. I never had a grandfather, not that I knew, anyway. But Elijah was in some ways what I'd imagine a grandfather to be.
Did you follow him from California?
It was by his request, actually. He cleared it with the other elders. Somehow. They sent him to look into the dam. There was a time when I'd have begged to follow. Watch him at work.
What changed?
He did. For years he fought with the council. Taught me to question our direction. Meanwhile, he'd become more out of touch than all of them. On our way east, he demanded we stop at Helios 1 to examine it. While we were there, we received word that the NCR had taken the dam. He was furious. Called it children playing with a bomb, but he was mad because we'd lost his power. What we'd use it for. He didn't even care.
How is that different from how any other elder would have reacted?
They're cautious. When they discover something, they respect it, learn its limits, consider how to preserve it. Used to drive Father Elijah crazy. He liked to learn limits too, but only so he could push them. That's not to excuse the other elders, though. They all covet technology for its own sake. Some are just more fanatical than others.
Alright, Miss Adeptus Mechanicus follower. Ever try to talk some sense into him?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't help him. He just didn't listen. And the idea that people talk back to him... If he could have made the Brotherhood act like machines, ordering them around with the push of a button, he would have.
What did you learn from him?
Elijah could look at an old device and immediately understand what made it work. And he could see its potential, where it fit with other technology. It's not something he could teach, but he tried with me. Some of it stuck. But that's what he taught me. You ask what I learned from him.
How's that different? What did you learn from him?
I learned what I don't want to become. In the end, it was just him and his vision. Nothing and no one else.
Were you close?
Yeah. I miss him.
Where is he now?
I don't know. Last time anyone saw him was in the battle at Helios 1. I wasn't there. He gave orders to hold the plant until it could be reactivated. But he ran out of time. The NCR overran it. Everyone thought he was dead. But I got a note from him at a comm station. That's how he liked to talk, even to me. He wasn't good at face-to-face.
What was in the note?
It was... strange. Even for Father Elijah. He's always been unstable, but this was... something else. I don't want to say delusional, but I don't know what else to call it. The only thing familiar about it was the signature. He said the Brotherhood was doomed, but that he'd return, save us. But the way he said it... I don't know. Said he'd return with one of the greatest treasures of the old world. Make the Mojave like it was meant to be. Wipe the slate clean.
I have a feeling we might be running into this Elijah guy at some point in our adventure. Do you have any other family in the Brotherhood?
Just my parents, but they haven't been around for a long time. Dad was a paladin, Mom was a scribe. They died in the same battle, trying to hold off the NCR from... something. I don't remember what it was. Guess it seemed important at the time.
Like how there's like so many different questions you can ask her and really get a sense of who she is and what her history is. Ever been in love?
Ever been nosy? I was, once. We were pretty young, but I like to think it was love.
What happened?
She left the Brotherhood. Wanted to put some distance between herself and her parents. Since our membership isn't open to outsiders, some members think that obligates all of us to procreate. You can guess which camp her parents belong to.
You didn't go with her?
No. Couldn't bring myself to leave everyone else behind. Couldn't convince her to stay, either. I'd hoped love would be enough to influence her decision, but it wasn't. We were both too stubborn. I don't know where she is now, but I'm sure she's moved on. I still think about her, though. Once in a while.
Such as life and love in the Mojave. Are you well respected among other members of the Brotherhood?
If you take trying to keep me as far away from Hidden Valley as possible because I ask too many difficult questions as a sign of respect, oh yeah. That's not to say I don't get along with them. I just think they don't know what to do with me sometimes.
Is there some place you want me to take you?
Nowhere specific. I just know there are a lot of groups who are actually doing well for themselves out here. I want to understand how and why. See them at work.
If you go here without her, the Brotherhood appears and puts a collar on you and sends you on a mission.
Listen up. I'm in charge of security around here. and I can't say I'm too happy about having an outsider waltzing around. But since you came in with Veronica, I'm inclined to cut you a little slack. Just behave yourself, and we won't have any problems, okay? Oh, and the Elder's going to want to talk to you. He's on the 2nd level. Just take a right once you get down there. My office is right here in case you need anything. Just ask for Ramos.
Okie dokie.
Looking sharp, Ramos.
Behave yourself.
Oh. Alright, well, we're not speaking to him about Eddie. I don't like these bastards. They hoard technology. Technology that could be used for the greater good.
Hello, outsider.
Hello.
Hello, you must be the outsider everyone's talking about. I'm Linda Schuller. If you ever need medical attention, this is the place to come.
Your x-ray thing behind there's blinding. So you're a doctor?
Yes, I handle all medical needs in the bunker. If you're ever wounded, I can treat you. For a fee. Normally I'd just be the base's medical officer. But my other duties say otherwise.
What services can you perform?
We have equipment here to treat most physical injuries. Lacerations, broken bones, that sort of thing. We also carry a full supply of antitoxins. You may have noticed the bark scorpions up above. Though tiny, their venom packs quite a punch. Treating scorpion stings is my most common procedure. I can also treat any form of radiation sickness you pick up out in the waste. No matter what stage. Save the last.
Mentioned other duties you had?
I'm this bunker's head scribe in everything but name. I supervise the research teams. I collate the reports. I attend the meetings. But for reasons beyond me, that buffoon Taggart still gets the title. And don't get me started on that little pet of his. Everyone around here knows what's going on there but her.
You really don't like Taggart, do you?
I don't appreciate how much harder I have to work to cover for his tendency to focus on his personal projects. I try not to think too much about his personal proclivities.
And you're not allowed to
Still breaking
take
hearts there,
anything,
I see.
unfortunately, or even snoop around in the terminals.
You must be the stranger I've been hearing about. Sorry, but I'm strictly forbidden from offering our tech to outsiders like yourself. Besides, I'm a little busy right now.
Hello, outsider.
We have a duty to preserve the past.
And hoarded, apparently. Wonder why you don't see any Brotherhood of Steel kids here.
Battle at Helios 1. Some people were worried about the NCR coming after us. This bunker is secure.
Which is a good thing that the NCR liking me so much doesn't affect my affinity with them, otherwise they'd be pissed.
When Paladin Ramos informed me that Veronica was approaching with an outsider in tow, at first I didn't know what to think. After giving the matter some thought, however, I've decided that an outsider could be of use to me right now. However, I will not force you to help us. Should you refuse, you will be allowed to leave here, though you'd remain Veronica's responsibility. What do you say, outsider? Are you willing to help us?
Sure.
Then allow me to explain our situation. This bunker is currently locked down, allowing no entry or exit, with you being one of the few exceptions. In exceptional cases, teams are sent out to investigate sites or retrieve materials deemed too important to ignore. 3 such teams have gone missing recently. and the news of their disappearance has not yet been widely spread to avoid undue concern. In order to maintain the peace and adhere to the strictures of the lockdown, I need to send someone else to discover what happened to them.
I already found all 3 patrols. They're all dead.
I suppose I am not surprised. We have few friends in the world above, and many enemies. But we must turn our minds to other matters. When I sent out those patrols, I also sent 3 knights out on scouting missions. When the patrols failed to return, we assumed the worst, and sent a single communication to the scouts to hold position and maintain radio silence. I want you to contact those scouts and gather their reports. Like the patrols, they have devices on them that will enable you to track them. When you find them, tell them you're my representative, and ask them if the bears are still hunting. That should get them to talk to you. Return when you've gathered all of their reports.
Oh. Sorry. I didn't see the red text in time.
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Name's Hardin. I'm the head paladin of this chapter, and I think we might be able to help each other out. I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you this chapter is in trouble. And he's at the center of it. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say?
I think you should embrace the fact that you're going bald and stop trying to comb it over. But alright, go ahead.
As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lockdown. No one goes out except small patrols at night. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years. And those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated are forbidden from returning. Morale has plummeted as time has gone by. And many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations. And all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. The only way things will change is if a new Elder is installed.
How do you... What about, Veronica? She seems to come and go as she pleases.
Veronica's a special case. She handles the procurement of supplies. If we didn't let her and those like her back in, we'd all starve. If the Elder could manage it, he'd shut them out as well. And all in the name of security. Which is why we need to replace him.
How do you propose to do that?
I don't know. I've gone through our records dozens of times looking for a precedent regarding the dismissal of an Elder and come up with nothing. The people who are most likely to know how it could be done are also some of McNamara's strongest supporters. So they refuse to help me. Which is why we're having this conversation. An outsider such as yourself would arouse less suspicion asking questions about such matters. The fact that the Elder has some tasks for you means his faithful won't suspect you, and you have a line open to the man himself. In short, you're in a perfect position to help me. Will you at least think about it?
Alright.
That'll have to do. I'd recommend going to see Ramos first. As head of security, he's more familiar with our protocols than anyone else here. You could also try to find something relevant in our data store, though last I heard Scribe Ibsen is having a bit of a problem accessing it. And if McNamara should give you any tasks, I'd ask that you kept me abreast of them. Report anything you find to me, and we'll move from there.
Pardon?
Veronica. Keep an eye on Veronica here. She's a sharp one.
Our former Elder Elijah was obsessed with new technology. That's why we were at Helios in the first place.
You guys do actually kind of look like the Adeptus Mechanicus with your red ropes here.
Look, this isn't a great time. Oh, what the hell. It's not like we're making any progress. I'm Ibsen, and I hope your day is going better than mine is.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I'm in charge of keeping this data system up and running, but accessing it is a little, touch and go at the moment.
Why's that?
One of our exploratory patrols, back when we had exploratory patrols, found a data disk in some ruins out in the waste. Well, we finally got around to cataloging the damn thing and got shut out of our own data store the second it loaded. Turns out it had a virus on it.
Why aren't there any patrols anymore?
Oh, there are patrols, just not exploratory ones. We've been in a state of lockdown for, well, let's just say it's been a while. The only time anyone gets to go topside is guard duty, or to gather provisions. Other than that, it's steel walls and fluorescent lights for us.
Why the lockdown?
That's not really for me to say. It's a bit of a touchy subject. You should probably forget I mentioned it.
Let's go back to a virus you mentioned.
Yeah, some pre-war jackass with too much time on his hands apparently decided to inflict his misery on those around him. It's scrambling all the terminals here at the moment. Luckily, we only use this section for storing historical data.
Anything I can do to help?
I suppose it couldn't hurt to get another pair of eyes on this. Maybe you'll be able to come up with something coming at it fresh. While the entire system is infected, the virus itself is spread across 3 terminals. The problem is that it keeps moving periodically. We'll have it nailed down in a terminal or 2, only to have it jump to another set of terminals before we locate the 3rd.
Can the virus's files be partitioned so read access is only provided by the lead administrator?
What? No, that's brilliant. It would let us seal a portion of the virus to a particular terminal, even when the other parts move.
I'll give it a try then.
Best of luck to you. I'll tell the others to take a break so they don't get in your way. Oh, and I'll keep track of when it jumps for you. To maximize your chances, wait for my signal before you begin.
You're being watched, so don't get any ideas.
You're being watched, so don't get any ideas.
Don't work too hard
The virus
there,
just
Ibsen.
jumped. Yes, yes.
This is a very RNG heavy mission. Alright.
Hey.
Hey. Just waiting for Oval Head here to give me the go.
Did you want to try isolating?
Yeah.
Hello.
The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. Ten seconds. That's it. We got it. The virus has been purged. You actually did it. If you don't mind my saying so, I didn't think you had a chance in hell of pulling it off. But I'm glad to be wrong for once. Thank you, my friend. Please feel free to access the data store at your leisure. I'm only allowed to give you access to non-classified topics, but it's better than nothing, right?
Now that the data store is fixed, what do you think of Hardin trying to get the current elder dismissed?
I can understand how the man might be frustrated by the current situation. He's a take-charge sort of fellow. Standing around's not his strong suit. I myself often wish we could end this interminable stasis and begin moving forward again.
What kind of information is in the data store?
Oh, all kinds of things. There was already information regarding the layout and systems of this bunker, but we've since added our own data as well. Prior to the lockdown, we had extensively scouted the surrounding area and compiled dossiers on nearby points of interest.
How do I get access to more topics in data store?
Well, you'd have to get a senior-level member of the chapter to unlock a topic for you. I've given you access to what I can, but that's not much. The majority of topics fall under Ramos's aegis, since they'd constitute a security risk. Good luck getting anything out of him. You might have better luck with another member of the senior staff. Try talking to them about it.
Alright, let's see what was hidden away. Project goals, Hidden Valley. The goal of the Hidden Valley project is to create a self-sustaining shelter for high-ranking VIPs that can serve as a command structure in times of crisis. The bunker itself is located several hundred feet below the surface. Multiple layers of reinforced materials serve to prevent a breach of inhabitable areas by anything save for a direct hit by a bunker-busting weapon, utilizing a megatonnage considered outside the capability of America's closest competitors. In the event that our enemies become capable of such an attack, the bunker's dervish camouflaging system makes targeting the site impossible for automated systems, forcing the aggressors to rely on guesswork and sheer luck. Systems overview. The Hidden Valley bunker relies on two main systems. The Candle fusion power system provides power to all bunker systems. Built more for reliability and duration of service, the power output of the system has been exceeded by many current designs, but it can supply the bunker with power for an estimated 752 years. The Dervish camouflage system provides visual and electronic interference to prevent airborne or long-range enemy weapons from targeting the bunker. The normal soil around Hidden Valley has been supplemented with a combination of aluminum and various silicates, which are then dispersed using a widespread network of industrial fans to blanket the area in a cloud of what is essentially chaff. Combined with the electronic countermeasures of the nearby array at Black Mountain, the bunker at Hidden Valley is effectively impossible to target. And that's about all we can get. I'll need to get used to the layout of this place because I have a feeling that at some point in the future I'll need to skedaddle out of here as fast as I can.
Your presence here, let's just say it's highly irregular. Outsiders aren't even allowed to know that our bunker's here, let alone come and go freely. You impressed Elder McNamara, obviously. You must believe that you'd be very useful.
So you're head of security?
That's right. Nothing gets in or out of here without me knowing it.
What exactly are the rules regarding entering and leaving?
Under the lockdown, only essential personnel are permitted to enter or leave. That includes supply runners and high security patrols. All other personnel are forbidden to leave, and any personnel that were out there when the lockdown was enacted are forbidden from returning.
Other questions?
Fine by me.
So, hypothetically, just starting a little conversation here for the fun of it, but, what would an elder have to do to get kicked out?
So, you've been talking to Hardin, eh? He's been looking for a way to usurp McNamara ever since the lockdown started. Don't get me wrong, he's a good man. But Elder McNamara has done all right by us. If it weren't for him, none of us would have survived at Helios. I'll tell you what I told Hardin. There have been only a few cases of elders being dismissed from their posts in the Brotherhood's history. And those involve crimes that someone like Elder McNamara is just not capable of. You can look it up for yourself if you want. I'll grant you access to that portion of the history section of our data store. See Senior Scribe Ibsen about accessing it.
Tell me what happened at Helios.
I'm sure someone's told you all this before. Several years back, we were running our chapter out the Helios 1 solar power station. Our elder at the time, Elijah, had some kind of obsession with the place, which is the only reason we stayed as long as we did. That place was hardly defensible, and we knew the NCR was moving in on us, but the elder refused to budge, insisting that he just needed more time. We never found out what he needed time for. Wave upon wave of NCR troopers hit us from all directions. We held out for a time, but we were grossly outnumbered, and they had more men than we had ammo. Eventually, our positions collapsed. Elder Elijah was nowhere to be found, so McNamara took charge and led what remained of us on a counteroffensive west. We lost a lot of men and women, but we broke through and made it here. Make no mistake, McNamara saved this chapter that day.
Who's Elijah?
Who was Elijah, more like? He was our elder before McNamara. Bright guy, but just between you and me, he was a little off. Our mission is to recover and preserve the technology of the past, but Elijah wanted more. He sought ways to improve upon technology, make it better. When we found Helios 1, he was like a kid in a candy store. Kept talking about the potential and a grand design never realized. He even insisted we set up our base there, against the objection of nearly every paladin. What followed is a whole other story.
So he wanted to improve upon technology. Sounds like the words of a heretic. The machine spirit will not be pleased. Alright, where are we going, boys? And Veronica. So, just Eddie is the boy.
Hey.
Am I actually supposed to go inside Freeside? Guess so. We'll be quick about it. I want to save this area for later.
Hello.
Oh wait, this isn't for Paladin, this is for Eddie. My mistake. Just think of that as a preview. Oh shit, Cazadors. It won't let me. There we go. Kinda worried the game was freezing and was about to crash. Golden geckos, get out of here. No one likes you.
Trouble.
There. Sure's a good thing we discovered that wind farm. Otherwise the journey over here will be a bit longer. Enjoying the view, bub? Taking in the somber imagery of the Mojave wastes? Wondering what might lie ahead for this scenic vista in the far, far future?
Approach slowly, stranger, if you have no business with me. then go.
Elder, the Elder sent me for your report. He asked if the bears are still hunting.
Then I am sworn to report. I've been dividing my time between the camps to the north and south of here. One belongs to the NCR, the other to a band of slavers known as Caesar's Legion. I was sure the NCR would quickly win, but that has not happened. Instead, the two sides maintained a long stalemate, and only after an extended duration did the NCR finally destroy its opponent. When they did, it appeared they did so with the help of fresh reinforcements. I do not believe they could have managed the feat without them. That savages such as these could last so long against the NCR is troubling. Please, take my findings to the Elder. He'll know what to make of this.
Oh, yeah, it was probably me, actually, who helped out. Here's in Valley, so heading over to the correctional facility. It should be this way, yeah. I actually do kind of wonder, is that really because of me, or is he talking about a different battle? I'm sure we'll figure out when we talk to this guy, since I had a lot to do in there.
What do you want? And don't try anything funny.
Look, Bub, I'm the one who approached you like a regular human being, and then you kneeled down to give me a blowjob. So don't go talking about someone doing something funny.
You speak truly, for it is unlikely that an outsider would know both the Elder's name and that passphrase. Very well. I've been observing the penal facility there in the distance for some time now, after having followed some rather disturbing rumors. Eventually, the NCR got around to putting the prisoners down, but not until they had wreaked havoc on nearby trade routes. Eventually, the NCR got around to putting the prisoners down, but not until they had wreaked havoc on nearby trade routes. Give this to the Elder. My observations are all within. Perhaps he will have a better idea of what this situation portends.
I don't actually know the Elder's name. I was the reason the NCR got around to putting them down. And, you're a weirdie.
Don't take another step if you value your life. For what purpose do you approach me?
What's it with you idiots and crouching down when I approach?
Strange that the Elder should send an outsider, but I suppose he has his reasons. My observations have mostly focused on the small town to the south of here. It was cruelly attacked, its inhabitants slain nearly to the last. That such an act could occur so far west is nearly unthinkable. The NCR has forces in all directions, and an outpost scant miles west from here. That they have not responded to this violence shows either an unwillingness or inability to properly defend their borders, which is telling. I've collected such musings in this report. Please take it to the Elder.
Alright, so that's all the scout reports. Let's, take a read. That is not the scout report. Oh, and you can't actually read them. Alright. Here's that dust storm the terminal was talking about. Only seems to happen at night from what I remember, which is kind of weird because you think it'd be better if it happens during the day when the bunker might be more visible due to the sunlight. But what do I know? I'm just a mailman.
Oh, hey there. Something I can help you with?
Nothing to say to him.
You're being watched, so don't get any ideas.
Hello again, my friend. I hope you've been finding the information in the data store useful.
No mention of the new information he gave, but here's Elder dismissal incidents. Kind of funny he'd give me this specific data here, even though it might actually be detrimental to what he wants. Incident number 1. Let it be recorded that on this day, Raymond Lorne was dismissed from his post as elder for committing the crime of murder. Brother Lorne was known to have hostile feelings toward the victim, Senior Scribe Ritter. The guilty party insists that Ritter's death was a tragic case of friendly fire. The bunker was under attack at the time, but the tribunal felt they could not let him persist as elder with such suspicion hanging over him. Head Scribe Buick, or that guy. Let it be known that from this day, Kenneth Jones shall no longer bear the title of elder. Brother Jones has willfully gone against the chain that binds, and has been forced to step down. Head Paladin Lindquist succeeds him as elder. Head Scribe Morgan. Let the record show that I have stood witness to the dismissal of David James from the post of elder. Brother James was charged with destroying an unknown device recovered from a recent expedition. The purpose and the function of the device remain unknown, and the Brother James has thus far proven unwilling to discuss the matter with anyone. Head Scribe Talwin.
How may I assist you?
Alright, let's see if this guy is here. Oh no, not you. Not there. I guess he gotta be back here somewhere. I think that's a door I'm not allowed to go through.
Have you had any luck finding the scouts? Or did you have something to discuss?
Here's her reports.
Good. Let's take a look. If I'm reading this right, it appears that the NCR's grip on this region is nowhere near as firm as I thought. I'll have to review these in detail, but these reports have given me much to think about. Thank you, Outsider. You've become someone I can count on, so I believe I can share something rather confidential with you.
Alright, what do you want to tell me?
I would like you to find the components we need to fix this bunker's air filtration system. I cannot overstate the importance of this task. See Senior Knight Lorenzo for the details. He's the one who brought the matter to my attention, and the only other person who is aware of it.
No, he's not here. Oh.
You're the one with that robot. I was hoping you'd bring him my way. Pretty impressive piece of hardware. I can't say that I've seen anything quite like him before.
Yeah, fuck off. Tell me about the filtration system.
So now I'm going to have your death on my conscience too? Great.
Just give me details. Well, let's do this one.
You think you're the first person the Elders trusted with this? He sent 3 of our patrols out looking for those components, and they're all dead. I was the one who supplied the Elder with the location of possible sites where we could find the components, so their deaths are my fault.
And now it's your turn. Well, don't say you weren't warned. I won't take the blame when you die horribly. But I can tell you're getting impatient.
The items I'll need to keep the system running are a differential pressure controller, a reverse pulse cleaner, and several HEPA cartridge filters. At present, my best guess for finding the items would be to search any of the old vaults in the area. Those vaults were usually built much like these military bunkers, even using the same contractors in their constructions at times. I'll mark the vault's locations on your map. Best of luck to you.
How may I assist you?
So, Vault 11, which we'll need to discover. Here's Vault 22. And Vault 3. Alright.
Oh, hey there. Something I can help you with?
One of the data store entries mentioned the chain that binds. What is that?
That's an old principle that's been around since the Brotherhood was founded. It basically means that you have to obey a superior officer. It's pretty much common sense, but it gets invoked a lot when people get pissy about following orders. If you're curious, I'll give you access to the data store entry on it. You'd probably be the first to read it in years, if not decades.
The vault missions will take quite a while, so we'll read this chain that binds thing right now. And then we can do the vault stuff later. Maybe in like next episode. Chain that binds. The chain that binds is the cornerstone of our organization, the rock that supports a great tree of the Brotherhood and its myriad of branches. It holds that 1. Orders are the flow from on high down through the ranks. An order from a superior must always be obeyed, that their wisdom may be carried out without hesitation. Orders are to observe the flow and not skip ranks. A superior may only give order to his direct subordinates and not to those beneath them. In this way, harmony of intent and coercion of thought is maintained. Bit of a retarded idea if you have like the highest ranking guy who absolutely must give an order to a far lower ranking one, but he can't because of this chain that binds, and the whole thing goes kaput. Where's this guy? You guys gonna get pissy if I go in here? Where's this guy? That's... Oh, here you are.
What is it, outsider? Have you discovered anything?
I found the patrols for Elder, and they had mission discs with orders from the Elder on them.
Just as I thought. McNamara gave my men new orders without telling me. The nerve of that man. This little stunt is probably what got them killed in the first place. Our normal patrol routes are known to be relatively safe. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid by ousting McNamara.
The Elder tasked me with contacting several scouts out in the waste.
That's a sensible notion. Your familiarity with the nearby terrain makes you perfect as a liaison. I've been trying to get the Elder to send out scouts for years, and he's always been resistant to the idea. Said they'd be a vulnerability. I wonder what changed his mind.
The Elder has me looking for parts to fix the bunker's air filtration system.
The filtration system? He wouldn't have you looking if we didn't need those parts badly. Which means that system's in real trouble. If the air filters go, it will become impossible to breathe down here. We'd be forced to evacuate the bunker. I can't believe he's kept something like this to himself. We should have every able-bodied person in the chapter working on this. All the more reason for you to find a way to get McNamara out of that chair before he dooms us all.
Well, you mentioned that he gave orders to your subordinates, meaning you're over those subordinates, and thus he should at least be giving orders to you. So what do you know about this chain that binds?
I could hardly call myself head paladin if I didn't. It's one of the first things every initiate learns when they start training. What about it?
One of the few times an Elder was dismissed was due to it.
I could be wrong, but I think that's a dead end. McNamara's always followed orders, and we've been incommunicado since fleeing Helios.
Did you know there's a second part to it?
Second part? What are you talking about?
It says a superior is not allowed to give orders to the men under his subordinate.
Then that means I can cast McNamara down for giving those secret orders to my paladins. Well done. That's exactly what I was looking for.
So what happens now?
There are a number of people I'll need to talk to. The process won't be instantaneous, but with this evidence, my path is clear. It shouldn't take more than a few days, and then we can begin moving forward again. Welcome, my friend. A new day has dawned for this chapter, and moving forward we will no longer cower in the dark. And we have you to thank for it. You'll find that I can be generous to those who show loyalty. Here, take this key. If you ever find yourself in need of repair, head to our safe house to the northeast. Now, what can I do for you?
I want to join. Actually, time for me to go.
Later.
Only a few people get to venture outside, usually to trade for food.
I mean, is that the case anymore, though? Because we got a new, elder here. Well, we basically usurped the whole working order of the Brotherhood of Steel just by reading a few dusty old computer terminals. Listen, learn, kid. Watch what you put on the internet. It's gonna be there forever.
Oh, hey there. Something I can help you with?
He has nothing to say about this new line of command. What do you think?
What's up?
Tell me about the Brotherhood of Steel.
It pays like ass, but it's hard to get other work with my skill set. What do you want to know?
What's their purpose?
Good question. These days, it's hard to say. Once upon a time, it was about technology, controlling it so it couldn't destroy us again. Energy weapons and power armor are usually tops on our list, although I appreciate anything that's vintage. But that all seems so limited now. We haven't grown or adapted, and now we're stuck in a hole, not carrying out our mission.
How did you get to be a member?
More sexual favors than I can even count. I am still tired from it. No, actually, you're born into it. My parents, their parents, so on. When you're young, you can choose to leave, but it's home, so most people don't. We don't take on new members, really. You can do the math on our long-term prospects based on that point. I keep hoping we'll change that.
What do you do for them?
I'm a procurement specialist. Like I said, it's basically grocery shopping, except sometimes the groceries are scavenged parts and arcane technology. The elder who brought us to the Mojave, Father Elijah, usually had me looking for these old memory units, but he'd never tell me what they were for. Nowadays, I'm usually sent to do business with traders at places like the 188, but sometimes I think it's just to keep me out of everyone's hair.
Alright, so first of all, it's not scavenging for parts, it's prospecting for parts. If you're gonna be on this team, you need to know that. Do you like being a member?
I know sometimes I sound like I don't. I know. But there's something that still rings true to me about our code. There's an honor to it. We're protecting people. Even if it's from themselves. It's a good cause. We just lose sight of the big picture sometimes. Treat all our practices with the same sacredness.
What's a codex?
Ah, the codex. If it's in there, we have to abide it. If it's not not important. It documents our history, too. Part of what scribes like me do is update it. I wonder... Nah, they'd probably catch it if I rewrote the Founder's axioms.
Does the Brotherhood protect people from raiders or other threats?
No. We only protect people from themselves, and only in the sense that we don't let them have the really good pre-war toys. And sometimes it's more like we protect ourselves from them and hope to outlive them and become humanity's sole heirs. We've had people go rogue, though, and start helping people. One chapter had a small civil war over it. We take our isolationism seriously.
Wonder if she's referencing the Brotherhood chapter from Fallout 3. Who's Father Elijah, even though you told me so much about him already?
He was our elder when we came east. A wizard with technology, really. His mind just worked that way, naturally. I learned a lot from him. But he started having disagreements with the other elders. The Brotherhood's interest is in old technology. He wanted to explore developing new tech. And there were other ways he wanted to push, other weapons, ones with ethics questions attached. Rather than deal with him, they sent him east.
Alright. Didn't really have anything to say about me switching elders.
What's up?
Know anything about New Vegas?
Yep, it's your typical city layout. Rich people in a gated community surrounded by extreme poverty. House gave the area around the strip to the locals, but he has no interest in it, so he ignores it entirely. It just needs new management. I'd love to see the Brotherhood do it, but since the Codex doesn't say clean up Freeside, no one listens to me. Bunch of sticklers.
What do you think of the NCR?
I'm worried they'll be the death of the Brotherhood. They take what they want. We defend our interests to the death. But there's a handful of us, and tens or hundreds of thousands of them. So, it's not going to end well. Last time we clashed, we lost a lot of people. Retreated to our bunker. Now we're afraid to even move around during the day.
Any thoughts on Kaiser's Legion?
Silliest dressed band of raping, slaving marauders you'll see east of California. I'll say that. Where's that touch of old world class? Although, I hear the soldiers mount each other as much as they mount their women, so maybe they did keep a little something from the Empire. No such privilege for the women, though. Figures. So, to answer your question, they're a bunch of hypocritical jerkwads. It's a word. You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
No, I remember what you said, and so I will gift you the sexy sleepwear. Wear it well, Veronica. I don't know if that's actually the dress she wanted. Doesn't seem like it.
What's up?
Nope. Alright, I think that just about concludes this episode. Not the most adventurous one, but we did get some stuff done. And apparently now I don't have that mission. Oh. I was delaying this one for the mission. I was delaying this one for the mission. And the game decided once the elders change that, screw it. You don't need any air filtration parts. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go to these ones anyways. We'll definitely go to Vault 22 and we'll head over to Vault 3 afterwards. Because there are some stuff there that I think we oughta... Oh wait, this is where the death claws are on, isn't? Oh fuck. Am I even going the right way? Yeah. Case of doors over here, but nothing me and Eddie and, well, I guess Veronica as well shouldn't be able to handle. Two good shots. Let's see, if I just keep heading this way, might be able to avoid the death claws. We're not quite at the level yet where we can take on death claws. Oh. This guy isn't gonna leave me alone, is he? You know, I should probably put on something better than a radiation suit. Oh, these are fucked. Actually, can Veronica fix it?
What's up?
Oh, she just helps you craft things. Guess I'll just drop them. No sense keeping that dead weight around. Says there's a location over there, but nothing that I can really think of.
Morn, what can I do for you?
Why are you here?
I'm here to make sure the bunker stays in one piece. I'm a master at repairing things, so I check in every so often to make sure all the equipment here is in top working condition. If you ever have any gear you need fixed, don't hesitate to ask.
Fuck!
Not always. I have other places I need to be, but I stop by every few days or so.
And he does indeed repair outfits. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Tesla cannon, Gatling laser, grab some missiles. Not sure if I'd be able to wear this stuff. I think you need training for it. Some minigun. Heavy weapons guy would like that. No sniper rifle though, unfortunately. Oh, water fountain that actually heals without irradiating you. Well, what a way to end an episode, you know? Not quite as disappointing as meeting that cook in the NCR's Camp McCarran, but certainly it is a load of horse shit. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I gave you something to think about and otherwise entertained you. That guy kind of disappeared from here. Take care.